right. Welcome again to Zilla Perspectives. And today we are talking about a video I came across, which is very interesting. Um, Here on this channel, we talk about different stuff than my other channel, most definitely. And this one has to deal with this lady says the illusion of options is damaging relationships. And she also goes on to say men are superficial. Uh, who knows? There could be some truth to men being superficial. However, in the context in which she's about to throw that in, I don't know if I can necessarily agree. Also, when she says men are superficial, don't really that doesn't really come off like a man thing to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But she has some things to say, and I want to go through it because I found it interesting that she's not. You won't really hear anything about a woman's interaction. This is going to be very one side opinionated, and so I'll just let her roll. We're going to go through it because it's a few minutes long, but I felt that we could do some breaking down and analyzing of this particular video. So without further ado, let's let her go.
Okay, so now that I've got your attention, I would like to speak on a few things. And I would like my target audience to be men. Women, you should tune into this because I think this information could be useful for you as well. First of all, I'm going to straight up say social media and the media period is why men and women are not getting along. But what I will say.
Okay, so I'll stop right there. Men and women have gotten along, and still do, with or without social media. Social media is not a medium or a mechanism to divide or destroy or prevent a relationship. Now, for the person that is looking to the internet, it's almost like the same as looking at celebrities and judging your relationships off of celebrities, right? So it kind of plays into the same talking point of being superficial. And so what she's referring to, number one, she couldn't have had this experience with all of these men. Number two, there's the underlining tone of what she is saying. It absolves the woman's responsibility. And she's very opinionated on what men are. Men, number one, and she's going to go into it. I don't know how many people would be able to agree with what she's saying, but truth be told, in my opinion, it might feel like that to you, but it seems to me that she has had a lot of interaction with men that weren't too sure of themselves. I'll say it that way. And so she believes that a man that might be superficial is all men. And she's not entertaining the idea of the type of men to which she attracts. And typically speaking, like, this is something that my grandmas, in their days, for the type of man that she's literally referring to, I used to call them kind of fellows a bit strange. Catch my drift? So it seems like she has a certain person. Now, that tells me she has purposely looked for the to what she perceived as emotionally sensitive male. But let's go hear some more.
Is I feel like it is affecting men way harder than women. And let me tell you why. First of all,
Okay.
I feel like social media gives everybody this illusion of options. But what I will say is most men are very immature. Studies show that men do not mature until they're 40, and most don't even mature at that.
Yeah, those studies are absolutely incorrect, by the way. You know, and experience will tell you that that study's bogus. So you're up here on TikTok saying that men, excuse me, men are more affected by social media because social media provides people with the idea of options. This is the type of personality now that's given away of control. And because she has not been able to exercise the control that maybe the women in her family tell her that she should have, and that she should always exercise just because she's a woman, then men should just be bowing and falling out of trees and out of planes, parachuting out of planes to come and date her. And she's saying that options. Okay, ma'am. Men choose their wives. Men choose spouses. If you're not being chosen, it's not because men are superficial, because men are still getting married. And you don't hear men out here stressing they don't want to be married. We right now have this Pop the Balloon show by with Arnett and her husband, and then we have a bunch of spin-off knockoff shows off of them. And one thing you're not noticing, you're not seeing a lot of dudes up here say, and this, mind you, is in the social media time. They're working. They have plans for their futures, and they also have plans for family. That's a plan. That's not a superficial thing. That's an active in action thing. So again, I would have to wonder, what type of men is this particular lady seeking out? That part is not being addressed in anything she's saying. However, I can debunk by just what you see, what she just said. Because if there were so many options, then all of these people with these Instagrams would not be having to go on a Pop Your Balloon dating show. Because they go on their shows and they show their Instagrams. They call Tasha or Kendra G. There's a whole lot of people in these dating things. You had a whole Kevin Samuels movement when he was alive, and there's still plenty of followers. Or I hate to say followers, but there are people that still subscribe to him over in that lane. So it's just very interesting seeing her take, while there's so much evidence against what she's saying. It's literal evidence. So this tells me she's speaking from a personal experience, and she's not taking into account what she's putting out and what she's attracting and her results based on that. She's just saying all of you men are superficial, and it's because of the access to the internet. Ma'am, people gonna be people wherever they are. If you think it is a device or social media that will have your man tipping out on you, then you have not chosen to be in touch with your man. See, here's the thing that she's missing. She's putting all of these other excuses out there for her lack of involvement of making sure none of those things were an issue in the first place. But let her go off.
Age. Also, you all struggle with monogamy as it is. So with
We
all
don't.
these women that you feel like are at your fingertips, a lot of you will take the latter and go ahead and take that risk, especially if you think you're not going to get caught. You all are very visual creatures.
Did she really say that? Ladies, who listen to this is honest. Men have a problem with monogamy? Okay. If men have so much a problem with monogamy, then one of my questions to her would be, well, then you must have a low body count then, right? Because you all about monogamy. And you can't take up your time with that many different people so frequently if you're in relationships, monogamous relationships, correct? See, that's a double standard that she's putting out right there. And also, just real quick, side note, I have a question. Back when, what's the girl that was dancing all up on Usher? Dancing all up on the Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer. Everybody said, Keke Palmer, she ain't got to worry about what that man said. She ain't got to respect that man because you know what? He ain't married her. He just the baby daddy. And he ain't got no say. And he ain't going to put a ring on it. Well, then I would also have to say, ladies, if you are with a man and he has not married you, stay out of his phone. And if he is entertaining anybody else, just remember, he ain't put a ring on your finger. Right? So if that's the case, then that means that you have never been cheated on. If you're unmarried and you had a man that was doing whatever out there, ladies, by your philosophy and logic, you have never been cheated on. Just food for thought in the land of hypocrisy. Anyway, let's hear more about what she has to say, that she's not owning up to her own responsibility of putting her hands in the mix with dealing with such people. Because here's the thing, the type of person that she's talking about is not the general case of men. It is, however, obviously what she frequently sees. And she's eliminating why she's seeing that, which is her.
And while there are so many voluptuous women with long, beautiful hair, whether it's their real hair or extensions, face made up to the gods, how many of these women do you think are actually of stature? Honestly, a lot of you all are opportunists. You will inbox and DM about 150 women a day between multiple apps, hoping that at least 3 of them stick, and then start up a conversation. Now, here's where you go.
Okay, lady, once again, if a man has enough time to, in a day, to inbox 150 different women, he has to go. Again, is there no one else checking for this man? Are you noticing something about this, ladies and gentlemen? She perceives men don't have interested parties out here. Like every time a man is out here cheating, it's because he went and chased something down. I guess that's what she believes. That there's no women out here that say, ooh, yeah, look at her man. She don't need him. She don't know how to treat that man. I could do that man so much better. She clearly doesn't think that woman exists. This is a woman who really believes that the ideals and the little talking points of feminism, she is totally bought into it, and she is losing
with the emotional cheating. Also, I feel like it makes men out of touch with what is reality, okay? Because a lot of these women, not only do they have plastic surgery like Botox and lip fillers, they have BBLs, breast implants, they have filters, they're using Facetune, they're editing all of their photos, and then you're looking at these women, and then you go and look at the average women, and then you're like, I'm missing out on something. That brings me to
Envy is a hell of a drug. And I can't even tell. Well, I guess she's actually kind of getting around to the type of women she envies. And she perceives that she's not getting quality men or men attention because of these women with BBLs, who, again, if you watch these shows, black men are telling you very, very much so. You see that woman walk in there with that BBL, you immediately hear pop, 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 because they popping balloons on BBLs. But here she is saying, this is what men are looking at. No, ma'am, we are not. Matter of fact, all of that really kind of leans into a woman making herself look like a tranny. So no, it's not something that men actually ask for. As much as we can say it, though, the delusional Dr. Happy women that's going to continue to do it will blame men. Don't get that lie twisted. They most definitely will lie and say this is what men want. But no. And not only that, though, to be quite honest, what woman in America is doing anything because men want that? That ain't for us. You got to be kidding. Because here's the thing, that how you know it's not. This woman can't tell you nothing about what a man wants. She's telling you her ideas of what she perceives men want. And it's all physical. She hasn't talked anything about feminine, soft, being his piece. She ain't talking about none of that. All we are is out here is, this sounds very young. It sounds very middle schoolish and immature. And she's talking about men mature at a certain age. Arrested development happens in it happens in both genders. It absolutely happens in both genders. So you have men that have arrested development. You have women that have arrested development like this.
Another issue that men are facing today, which is pornography. A lot of you men have really bad pornography addictions. You cannot even enjoy intimacy.
See, I don't even know, where is she coming from with this? Every man is not addicted to porn. Every man doesn't have intimacy issues. This is coming off like youth pastor talk. It's almost coming off as like the youth pastor talk. Like she's got all of her little Bible sayings ready. She doesn't have enough real life under her belt to have true application experience. But she's getting out here like, this sounds like what someone else said, but it's very much, it's almost sounding like a gay pastor who she's listening to. It's given gay pastor. That's what I'm feeling here. Because if you see some of these simps that sit up here in these pulpits because their church is full of women. Man, men are superficial. Man, the reason why men won't be emotionally attached to you and men are emotionally unavailable because they like porn. That has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. There's not enough time in a day, man. What about men with these careers, these high value men that everybody talk about? What about these men? They just sitting there in office all day, just flipping through porn. No time to make money, gotta stop and watch porn. So I can be detached from a lady at home. I don't know why I got one, but see, if they're detached, then how do they even know how to approach a woman? Where's the courting phase? Where's the dating? She's not talking about none of that. So this is telling me, this is giving real envy and self. I'm getting a little feel of a little bit of self-hatred.
Intimacy with your partner because you're too busy thinking about which woman you can pick from an online category, right? And the more you watch it, the more you become desensitized. You need something more hardcore. Then y'all start falling into these categories, and then next thing you know, you're off the rocker into a black hole, and probably are starting to
Jeez, this is what they say about it. Ma'am, live some life and get your ass off the internet. Because this right now she's going into the whole spiel. This is something that a lot of y'all might have had classes in high school when they start talking about addiction. They might even have had somebody come into the class and, start telling you about how addiction works. Or, I was in the school at the height of gangs. So some of the scared straight people that they would have come to class, that cooperated from other cities and whatnot. But they were helping the kids, letting people know not to get involved with gangs and have to be a rat like them. To have to go to different states and different cities to tell kids, stay out of gangs. Don't be a snitch like me. You know what I'm saying? Those type of guys. Because trust me, if you guys had one of them guys in your class, chances are he told. But, we had one guy come here and, I grew up with some different ones. So I think this is like sixth grade. Yeah, they brought this dude in here. Boy, he uncovered that snitch jacket so fast. He was pissed off and ready to cuss out the little kid. Wanted to get jumped bad. It's like, well, what you doing out here? And they were, where your homies? And they figured out, oh no, you told. So he couldn't help that 11-year-olds figured out he was a rat. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, back to what she's saying again, because I'm saying it's coming off as counselor training. That's what it comes off as. Like, this is the spiel that you're going to give to the kids to make sure they don't fall off. Make sure you stick with Jesus, kids. Don't do too much porn. And if you touch yourself too much, you'll go blind. That's this type of talk.
Feel disgusted with yourself afterwards. Y'all do not understand that porn is fake. That's why they're called stars. They're actors. It's like wrestling.
Everybody's wrestling in porn, I guess. What the hell is she talking about? It sounds a lot like youth counselor. This sounds like youth counselor preparation. Getting you ready for all the kids you're going to have this summer.
And then you guys think that your day-to-day regular sex life is supposed to be like people who do it for a living. It's not going to be like that. Also, a lot of you all are emotionally unavailable as it is. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to manage your emotions. So you're not in a place of where you even want to work on a relationship with a woman. You also don't know where to start. That's where women get frustrated when they say they need a man to lead. You got women complaining, nagging, and you feel like she's just repeating the same stuff, but you're not literally thinking to yourself, like, maybe she's repeating the same stuff because I'm not changing it. This woman is trying to fight for my relationship, but I'm on here listening to Kevin Samuels, and he said that because my woman got kids, or because she's getting older, or because of this, she shouldn't be telling me what I need to fix because I'm a high value man, and you're not nowhere near that. A lot of y'all.
How many of y'all still listening to Kevin Samuels? Kind of interesting, because the brother's been gone for a few years now, and you still stuck on Kevin Samuels. Okay. What they say? That something that was going on with Kevin Samuels. Why is she bringing up Kevin Samuels? Didn't I tell you this feels like a rehearsed script? And you guys was up there listening to Kevin Samuels, and when you're listening to him, that's why you don't like women. See, you're listening to Kevin Samuels, that means you hate women. No, you don't. And what the man was saying, all you could do is say you don't like Kevin Samuels. You didn't like him. But I will say this, for all of y'all who was celebrating that man's passing, y'all are evil and toxic as hell.
don't even own a suit. You're not in no important rooms. A lot of y'all are not even nowhere near having a career. You guys are sitting there listening to other men who are lonely and miserable, just like y'all feel like us women do. But see, the difference is I do genuinely feel like women are actually complaining about what we're dealing with in reality and what we have been dealing with for years, for centuries. We're not complaining about.
No. Don't relate your bad choices of relationships to other women. See, this is where you go wrong. The men you dealt with were the men you chose to deal with, and they all seem to be of a certain type. So stop putting all that on all men. I'm someone's husband. I'm nothing like what you're talking about. And clearly you're not looking for husband material, because you're not talking about the men you're talking about are the men you should not be looking to date. Everything that you have described about these individuals, you have to go reevaluate what it is that when you see these type of men, what is it that turns you on? There are plenty of family men out here, men looking and setting. See, what a man will do, will set his life up to accommodate a future partner. Because a man ain't going through his life expecting to die alone. That is no man's desire. So if you put your head in that space to think that all men think about sex, when we're thinking about homes, there is a class of men, that ones that you just talked about, and you said that the men you deal with are not. Well, then that's because of those high value men won't deal with you and entertain you at all. And you particularly don't entertain the places where these type of men can be found. So there's that.
Anything new. It's just getting to the point where, since we're on social media, you can see us complain about it, and then you feel like, damn, I gotta hear this at home. So it's like, really, I feel like it's hitting your ego, and you guys just feel like all women are nagging. Some of you guys have no.
See what she did? She did all of that ranting. She did all of that ranting to get down. That was 4 minutes. See, and y'all, don't speak on me, man. Speak on the man that you were talking to. You keep trying to use this universal man conversation, and because you don't want to take the full responsibility for choosing the man that you were talking about. Me and my wife, we're good. We have conversations. You know, I don't understand. Oh, man, we're detached and emotionally unavailable. No, the men you're dating are. That ain't every man out here. There's plenty of, you hear plenty of stories of these women. You see these women, they ain't out here talking this mess you talking. But here, I would have to say, I imagine you're not getting your advice from married women. You most definitely aren't listening or talking or conferring with married men about anything. A married man and a married woman would be able to give you a certain advice. They could give you advice right there together. But see, a lot of y'all are hard-headed because can't nobody tell you nothing. And right here, I'm looking at a whole lot of sidestepping personal responsibility. Because for all of these, the one common denominator for her is her. I'm not part of her conversation, although she's trying to blanket all men with this. No, this is the men that you deal with. So that's the men that you are attracted to, and you keep choosing for whatever reason.
Accountability, you feel like, oh, this and this and that, so you go talk to your homies and they're delusional. Then you get on the internet, and a lot of men are delusional. Like on the internet just a few days ago, this man was like, you women are going to start having to settle. We don't have to settle for shit. We just won't talk to y'all, because instead of trying to meet our standards, you guys are so oblivious and have such poor skills as men that you would rather run off. Hence what I was talking about yesterday when it came to the passport bros. Or you just see more men dating each other. It's getting so bad out here, and everybody's pointing fingers. But see, it's not me necessarily just.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to get what she's putting down. So the issue is that you are too much of a disciplinary problem, and men are leaving you on the shelf. And you want to look at them and say it's something wrong with it. Everything you're talking about in this broad sense are only the things you experienced in your small dating experience. That is not the bulk of men. And the men you keep referring to are in a certain sector or certain area. You're not talking about venturing out yourself and going to different places to meet different people. You're staying in your vicinity, wanting the men that you have looked at every day to be something they are not. Why won't you just do right? Because that's not who they are. You're going to have to put yourself in position to find who you're supposed to be finding if that's what you're doing. But you cannot keep blaming every other man. And then here's another thing she just said. And men don't want to take no accountability. The men you deal with don't. You're blanketing all men. Men are superficial. No. And from what I'm hearing right now, you are being told you're a nag. Which means, ma'am, in layman's terms, you don't bring enough to the table to be such a problem. My guess is you probably got narrow hips and a flat ass.
Blaming men for everything. I just feel like it's affecting you guys more. Whether you guys feel like women are nagging or not, a lot of the stuff that we want across the border is consistent. When we get on the internet and we try to hear y'all out, first we hear, oh, you women be sloppy, y'all be fat, and y'all be having stretch marks and saggy titties, and this is why, y'all low value. And then we get BBL.
I absolutely never heard that. I absolutely have never heard that. But there she goes back, referring to the BBLs. What did I just say? Narrow hips. We starting to get down to the nitty gritty here.
Oh, y'all women fake. Y'all be getting these fake bodies for attention. Y'all not marriage material. We wear our real hair. We go natural. Y'all women better not get the big chop when you in a relationship with me. Y'all be nappy headed and bald headed. We want mixed women with long hair. Then we wear extensions. Y'all.
Oh, see how she just threw that one in. So as she keeps going, you start hearing what's really going on. You see, you want the girls with the BBLs, and then you want them natural, and then you say, well, you better not chop it. You better not do the big chop if you dating me, because if a black girl, your hair be all nappy. I want a light skinned girl, a mixed girl with long, good hair. What? Who is she around? Okay, ma'am. Maybe the company you are keeping is just as shallow as you. If you can't recognize that it's shallow company, you acting like you drowning in the dating pool while everybody else just dipping their toe in the water. Wake up. Wake up, sis.
Y'all be wearing fake weave and all this. We can't ever find a natural woman. We don't wear makeup. Y'all women be looking ugly. Y'all be unkept and this and this and that and the third. You got acne and blah, 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 blah. I had people making fun of my hyperpigmentation. You wear makeup. Oh, y'all fake. Y'all insecure. Y'all hiding something. We just know you easy to have sex with.
Oh, you just something easy to have sex with. Okay, again, you're hearing the church lingo. So a narrow hip church girl who is trying to date in this modern day and age, and she's upset that the boy and the men she want ain't with that church stuff right now, and ain't with all of her chastity crap, Either you getting it with it, or oh, you easy to sleep with. What easy to sleep with, man? What does that actually mean? Are they really coming at you just expecting to hit it on the first date? Or are you gonna be like, well, I'm on my celibacy journey? See, it's a big difference. But she went through a few different things. She also mentioned the ugly thing. Why would you be ugly, but then you refer to the mixed light-skinned girl? See, there's some, her insecurities is what this is about. And she really made a video. And I'm sure a lot of people probably will look at this and see this TikTok and be like, oh, this makes sense. She's right. Y'all just as off as she is.
It's like when it comes to y'all, there's no winning from losing. Seriously. Another thing that I want to say when it comes to women with these ridiculously high standards, it's usually not other women's fault that they think the way that they do and their standards are as high as they are. It's honestly your counterparts. It's other men hyping them up and blowing their head up.
Ma'am. Since when? Since Vogue magazine, Cosmopolitan, all of these magazines, these women movements and women magazines and women themed TV shows and movies and TV channels and radio stations, women feeding other women their information. Somehow you squeezed us in there. How? There is no women out there getting their information, especially bad information, from men. And you're going to say that women don't, that all of these different podcasts that you see are women telling other women dating advice. Ain't no women out here listening to men. If that was the case, y'all would be following Kevin Samuels. So to sit up here and say that while you dog that man in his death, oh, y'all just out here listening to Kevin Samuels. But now all of a sudden the high standards come from men? It can't be both. At some point, you got to take responsibility for the position you put yourself in, sis.
And there's actually men that see these attractive women with these banging bodies online and will send them money, will fund their lifestyle, will pay all of their bills.
The jealousy is just oozing out of this video right now.
A lot of us women are not as delusional as you think we are. We know we're not famous. We know we're not celebrities. A lot of us with some common sense know, like, okay, our lifestyle is not going to entail us going on these trips to Bali, okay? Getting Louis bags, Coach bags, and red bottom shoes. And, you know, when it comes to the vast majority of older women, maybe the younger generation, the actual generation that you guys keep trying to chase, but when it comes to like 25 plus, we're more mature and we're more seasoned to the point where we're not looking for perfect. We're looking for good. A lot of you men are superficial. Y'all literally want us to have very small waist, perfect perky breasts, nice booties, pretty toes, nice hands, long pretty natural hair, clear skin, nice teeth, no kids. We got to be under 30 years old. We can't talk back even if y'all doing something bogus. We got to have our own careers, pay all of our bills, but we have to respect y'all, not ask y'all for nothing. We got to let y'all cheat. Like, what? All we be asking for y'all is to keep a job and wash up and dress, you know, decent. And that's too much. Y'all got high standards. Dude, what?
Okay. You didn't catch the part where she threw in, y'all want girls with nice booties. Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to where the problem is. Because this girl ain't bad in the face. I don't even know why she thinks she ugly. I don't know where that reference came from. She's not ugly. I see she got her, you know, she got a little top meat showing a bit. But I will tell you, shout out to the Parkers on the Go for that. But just for all intents and purposes, she looked like she should be able to go snag some good standard having fella. However, she might, like I said, might be a little thin in that waist area. And for some of us, you know, yeah, you're gonna be impressed. You know, it kind of is what it is. So, you know, that when she keeps making the references to BBLs and all of that, because had she had natural cakes, that whole part of her conversation wouldn't exist. And I will tell you this, if this girl had a big old whale tail, half the stuff that she was talking about that's why she started talking about porn. Because if she got a big old booty, she ain't, what big booty woman you sit up here talking about, y'all men just addicted to porn? No, I think they're more addicted to her big booty. But if you don't have one, then it's the imagination of you just prefer porn. And so again, that's where the illusion of options is damaging relationships. Her relationships was damaged by a woman with a better body. And probably a little more agreeable. Because if you have to in a video say that, well, this is why we nagging, probably a good part of why it didn't work out. Well, that's just my 2 cents on this. This has been a Zilla Perspectives video critique. Do you believe that there is the illusion of options is damaging relationships? Do you believe their relationships are ending because you could pick up your Instagram and like a picture or not, or go see a story and, or like in my Instagram feed, see a whole bunch of things that they want to show you, which for me, it'd be a bunch of deformed children or people with these weird deformities. I don't know why they like showed me that Instagram. I could rather go without. And then they also show me these, I guess it's a thing where like these big booty women, and they're fully clothed, but it's like, you know, the whole jiggle thing. So they got that thing going on. I don't know why that's something being pushed in the algorithm, but whatever. And that's what I see on my Instagram. But however, that's not the illusion of options. That woman may be with another man. These women may be with their men. Most majority of these women ain't single. You know, so I mean that's an illusion right there. A lot, man. You better understand some of these channels and things that have got popping over since the pandemic. A lot of them women's cakes that y'all looking at them as married women, y'all. So let's just keep it a buck. I mean, and for all some intentions, you know, hey, it's, if it works for them, it works for them. I've seen quite a few people turn a nice little buck. Nothing I would advise doing, but I can bear witness to what I've seen. So, you know, there's that. So again, just let me know what you guys think about this. I found this to be very interesting. So I wanted to take my time with this and comb through it. So yes, give me your feedback, and make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, Zilla Perspectives on YouTube. And of course, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram and X at beatzillapdx. And till next time, family, this has been, let me go ahead and get that off there. So this has been a Zilla Perspective. And let me know what you guys, for me, is this little booty problems? Because it kind of sounds like big booty jealousy. Let me know what y'all think. Till next time, family. Peace.